Hey everybody, video here for you today. Actually, this is my second one, and if you have a chance to check out my first one, that was I think one of the best ones Dendel and I have ever done. I saw her last night. First time I think I saw her since about Christmas time. And when Dendel and I first started doing videos, I think I only had about 6,000 subs, so that was a cool moment last night, and she put on a special performance. Hope you can check that out, but we are going to go down to Turkey today. A place that I think few have heard of, but it's a very important place. It goes back to the time period of Gobekli Tepe, the pre-pottery Neolithic. We're going to go down to Ayanlar, Hoyuk in Turkey, and it's right down here. Here's the site today, a Neolithic mound right in this area. I think this is important to talk about. One, because there's no video on YouTube about this that I could find. And also because this was only investigated once. 2013, I believe. They only excavated one part of this mound. They found some pretty important stuff, and then no other work has been done here. Another reason why this should be talked about is after Gobekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe, this is the third largest Neolithic tell. That goes back at least 11,500 years ago. But I did find a PDF, found a few pics, so let's go over to that. I will leave a few links below. Here is a PDF I found. This is a view of Ayanlar Hoyuk looking from the north. Here's a map of all these places that go back 13,000 years. I've talked about just about all these now. Nabali Chorai, Hazman Tepe, Muriabed. I did a video on that very recently. Karahan Tepe, Gesur Hoyuk, Kordik Tepe. That dates back further than Gobekli Tepe. But just reading here, it says, it is estimated that the mound of Ayanlar, the eastern, western, and northern sections of which have yet to be investigated, was a big center in its region. During the studies conducted in the region in 2015, I think I might have said 2013 in the intro, but it was 2015, it says it was understood that 3 artifacts brought to the Sanliurfa Museum in 2013 dated to the pre-pottery Neolithic period and were unearthed from Ayanlar Hoyuk. Ayanlar Hoyuk is the third largest mound dated to the pre-pottery Neolithic period after Karahan Tepe and Gobekli Tepe. With the discovery of Ayanlar Hoyuk, which stands out with its area of approximately 14 hectares, the number of large-scale settlements dating to the pre-pottery Neolithic period of the region now stands at 3. This discovery demonstrates once again that multiple large-scale settlements existed in the region during the Neolithic period. And when did civilization start? 6,000 years ago? Or is it more like double that time period? I just think this is an important site to talk about because just very little excavation was done, and only once. I'm not sure if the government allows excavation very easily or not, but it says the surveys conducted at Ayanlar Hoyuk led to the identification of 2 periods, the pre-pottery Neolithic period and the Byzantine period, which is interesting because I haven't heard of later cultures living at these sites, but this one is kind of unique. It says the early middle Byzantine period is rather confined to a small area below and around the village. So what did they actually know about this time period that went way back in history before them? That is interesting to think about. But it says the ceramic finds from this period tend to be concentrated around the village. Headstones and village cemeteries dated to the early Byzantine period were discovered on Hill 1 of the mound. Flint and obsidian tools, top and bottom grindstone, pestles, and stone axes were discovered in all other areas of the mound. There's that view of the mound, and on the right, that is a Porthole Stone fragment from Ayanlar Hoyuk that is just sticking out of the ground. And Porthole stones are important because that is exactly what was found at Gobekli Tepe. I will show some pics towards the end here, but this is important. I'm just going to read here some more of this. It says, thus far, no T-shaped pillars have been discovered at Ayanlar Hoyuk. However, the discovery of pillar pedestals at the settlement increases the probability of finding T-shaped pillars here. So far, the finds recovered from Ayanlar Hoyuk indicate that the settlement has characteristics identical to Layer 2 of Gobekli Tepe. However, taking into consideration the 10 meters of cultivated soil covering the settlement, it is highly possible that similar finds from Layer 3 of Gobekli Tepe will be found. In conclusion, the abundance of high-quality finds from Ayanlar Hoyuk resembling the finds from Gobekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe indicates that this settlement was an extensive Neolithic center. Moreover, the surface area of the settlement, some 14 hectares, and the presence of small hills thereon, as at Gobekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe, shows that Ayanlar Hoyuk was an extensive settlement during the Neolithic period like Gobekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe. Ayanlar Hoyuk should be dated between the early pre-pottery Neolithic B period and the mid-pre-pottery Neolithic B period in the light of the finds recovered there. Here are some of the finds at Ayanlar Hoyuk. Not sure what exactly the terminology is for these. Cup marks, or these actually look like post holes if you look really closely here, but these were found at Karahan Tepe and at Gobekli Tepe. Here's a stone vessel found at the site. So when you read terms like pre-pottery Neolithic, well, this must come after that time period, but must go back over 10,000 years. That is very interesting. Here's another find made at the site. That's very interesting. A stone vessel of some sort. Looks like it's not small. That almost looks like cement around it. I'm not sure if that's very ancient or if that is the archaeological work kind of preserving this. I'm just not sure. Bahattin Selik was the archaeologist who did the work here, but here are some very interesting animal carvings. These are just fragments off of something bigger, but those are very similar to the carvings at Gobekli Tepe. A leopard, or I'm not sure what that depicts, but looks like something pretty ferocious. And there is a couple more fragments of carvings. Not sure what that is, but leave your comments below. Here is an assortment of finds made at Ayanlar Hoyuk. Some projectile points, some grinding stones, and seems they were grinding grain or something they were growing here. When did agriculture start? There are some more looks at some finds at Ayanlar Hoyuk. I just thought this was important to talk about. No video on YouTube going over this site specifically. But if you can find something, please leave a link below. But that is a Porthole Stone, just like they found at Gobekli Tepe. They found bases here for T-shaped pillars. This has only been excavated on a small scale level. Majority of the mound hasn't even been looked at, so that's why I'm making the video here today. Seems to be a very important ancient site that goes maybe back 11.5, 12,000 years. That is Ayanlar Hoyuk in Turkey. Seems to be a pretty important place. Couldn't find a video on YouTube on that, so that's why I'm making it today. I like making the first video on YouTube about these sites. I've done it many times. That's another one. Hope you thought that was cool, and you all have a very nice day.